Hey guys, so I'm here back with another video. So on today's video, we're going to make my daughter some pear, apple, banana bran muffins. Okay, so the first step we're going to do is we're going to put a cup of flour, all-purpose flour, and you can add your spices to it. Like if you want cinnamon or if you want allspice, you know, some people put nutmeg. For me, my recipe will be in the description. But what I used was a teaspoon of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And we're going to use two teaspoons of vanilla extract. We use 1 cup of wheat bran and then a half a cup as well. And what I did was, in order to get it moist like this, you have to add some type of base. So what I used was carnation milk. You can also use buttermilk or whole milk, whatever is your preference, or just maybe a different kind of milk that, you know, maybe almond milk, depending on what you like to use. But for me, I use carnation milk, and it helps get it nice and wet and moist, because you don't want it, it comes really dry. Okay, also, this is my half a cup of the pear banana and apple sauce that I made. I took 1 banana and I just mashed it up, blended it up. And this is a half a cup of butter. Now, this is salted butter, because this is what I had, which I didn't. The recipe calls for adding a half a teaspoon of salt. You can use kosher salt if you would like, but instead of me putting salt, period, since I have salt in this butter, I'm just going to use this. Normally, I would use unsalted butter. Okay, so what we're going to do is, all my stuff is mixed in, my cinnamon. This is the last step, okay? So we have this mixed up. You're going to add in your butter. And we're going to mix this all in. Also, in your flour, you have, before I forget, you have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And you also have a half a teaspoon of baking soda. So you need your baking powder in order for it to bake, okay? And the baking soda helps bring moisture as well. Okay, so, but the recipe will be in the description, guys. Okay, so I'm going to stir all of this up. Okay, our butter is in. Now we're going to do 1 large egg. Be careful, you don't make sure you get any shells inside. Okay. We're going to stir that in. Okay. Okay, we're going to add our vanilla extract. You can use any brand, guys. Okay. Stir that in. And this is really good for like anybody, adults, children, you know, for breakfast, for snack, you know, on the go. I do things like this because it's just simpler and it just makes my life more peaceful and less complicated, just having things prepped. And then, you know, once you make them, this make up a good 12 muffins, and then you can freeze some of them. You don't have to have everything, you know, of course, in the refrigerator. However you want to do it, you know, you can make 12, so you can freeze the rest of it if you want to. Okay, and then I'm going to add my brown sugar. So make sure we're going to get all of this in. Let me get my whisk. Got my whisk. You know, sometimes you have those chunky sugar, you know, you got to break it up. So I just want to make sure it's nicely fine and broken up. Okay, as you see, it's nice and blended. Now we're going to add the pear, apple, and banana. Now you could just use banana, you could just use apples, you could not use none of this at all, and just, you know, leave this out and just put your sugar, and it could just be, you know, the rest of the recipe in flour and the wheat bran, and you just have plain bran muffins. But for me, I'm a little extra, guys. I like to just do extra stuff. So, and I like my daughter to eat good stuff. So, you know, So it makes it's also, like for instance, it's sweet too. Like you got the banana has sugar, it's natural sugar. So is pear. The pear that you gotta get some good pears and some good apples. I get her apples from the farmer's market, and then I just make her homemade applesauce. And you can just use that as your sweetener. You know, you don't even need to add any brown sugar or anything like that, or white sugar if you wanted to add white sugar. Keep it all natural. So sometimes I do that, but sometimes I don't. I give her a little. She don't really eat sweet stuff unless she's eating stuff like this. But other than that, she does not even like, honestly, she doesn't even like sweet stuff unless it's something that I baked her. So, okay. And now we're going to add the last thing, which is the flour. So when we do the flour, as you saw in my previous video when I did the banana bread, you want to fold it in. You don't want to just stir it up. You want to fold it in. This keeps the fluffiness, the consistency, and then you're all good. You want to make sure you have also your pan prepped. So as you're going to see in a minute, I have my cupcake pan, muffin pan, same thing, prepped. I'm going to finish stirring this up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like inside of the pan. Okay, so as you see, my pan was already prepped and already getting ready to go, so I can put everything in. So I'm just going to scoop it. I feel like about a good 2 tablespoons. They do rise, but they don't rise extreme like me a lot, so. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, be careful, sometimes that happens, but it's okay. Just scoop it in. I'm going to finish filling these up, and I'll show you once I'm done. Okay guys, so I am done. I filled everything up. You want to make sure if you're using just a plain pan, or even these cupcake cups, which I like, you need to base it with either some butter or some oil. I use butter. I think butter is better for baking for certain things, but I just like to use butter as instead of oil. And as you also seen, I used a 1/3 cup of butter inside of the mixture. So it's a 1/3 cup, guys. Okay, and you can also, if not, you can use oil if you don't have butter. Okay, so I filled everything up. Now I'm going to place this in the oven at 375 for about 20 minutes, or until done. You can stick a toothpick in it to make sure it's actually done. And then we'll see the finishing touches. See you soon. Alright guys, so it's completely finished. It's done. I just took it out the oven, and they look really good. And that's it. These are pear, apple, banana bran muffins, and I hope you guys try this recipe because they're really good, and especially for your children. And I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you share the video, like the video, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel as well, Blends of Paradise and Official Lay 15. Also, make sure you Life of Elena on YouTube, Official Lay 15 on my Instagram, Blends of Paradise on my Instagram, and TikTok and Facebook. And you'll get to see more videos just like this. Later.